Hi, it's been a few years since I had to do one of these, but the process has changed and actually it's way, 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 way easier than it was before. So this will be a very short video if I keep get going. So this is about pairing Brightspace in MyMathLab 2025 edition. So apparently they've moved to this LTI 1.3. I had to look it up. I was curious. LTI is Learning Tools Interoperability. Um, that's what that stands for. Essentially, just the way that you would pair these things, I suppose. That's just my guess. Anyhow, I will go through the process, and you can look that up for yourself if you're curious. So I'm going to share. Well, I'll share the other screen and just kind of walk through it. But I'll say this as I'm transitioning between screens. You're going to want to make sure that you start in MyMathLab and have a course created with whatever the current materials are that you're using. That'll just make the process more seamless. If you have a previous course you're copying from, that's fine too. Just make sure that the course materials haven't been updated. Otherwise, it won't work. That was true in the previous process too. All right, so anyhow, you're in Brightspace now. Here we are. You should be able to see this. And we're going to go into whatever course it is. And then you're going to go into content. So this is already, well, this is essentially how the former process was. And then after that, I already did it. So let me not do it. I thought took that away. Apparently I didn't. So you're going to create a module, call it My Math Lab, call it whatever you want to call it. And then you're going to go into existing activities and external learning tools. And this is where I made my mistake. It's literally the first item. Access Pearson. And so when you click on Access Pearson, it says Access LTI 1.3 integration, which is what we want. This is something later we'll be able to add different links. So this link is really more for us than anybody else. So you can hide it. But we're going to go through the process. And I'm going to be honest, I haven't actually gone through the process this way. I did it a different way before, which worked except for one thing at the end. And so this is going to solve the problem I had before, hopefully, or maybe it'll all go wrong in this video. I've not rehearsed this, so who knows what'll happen. All right, so I'm going to click the link and I'm going to see this screen pop up and I have a choice. And most of us in math are using MyLab and Mastering. In fact, I don't know anybody using this. And so we would go to this one on the left. And then from here, this is a familiar screen. This is the screen you would have seen if you had the previous integration. But notice that the grade sync is grayed out, and that's because we don't have a course linked yet. And so we're going to go ahead down here and do exactly what it tells us. It's very intuitive. So you're going to watch this video and you think, I could have done that myself. So there we go. And then from here, this is where you have a choice. So if you're literally starting from scratch, you pick the first one. Just make sure you pick the right book. And then here, this these are so this is really if you want to just use an existing course, and this is going to be if you want to make a copy of a previous course. Let's say you built the course in MyMathLab and haven't used it yet, then you would pair. But if you're using, say, a previous semester's course, then you would make a copy. Or let's say you're using like a larger coordinator course or something. So that's how I understand it. I typically choose this one anyway. And so it's going to make a copy of whatever that course is in MyMathLab, and that's going to be the copy that links. So just be aware that's the case. This one would link literally the one that's there already. You could try it yourself and let me know, but that's my suspicion. So I'm going to click the copy. And I'm going to go through and just pick my courses. I found the search was kind of lousy, so I just scroll through to find what I need. This is Math 121. I'm going to pick it from last fall, and so I'll pick that one. And then from here, just the usual stuff, call it whatever. Sure, it's kind of a boring name. This is our My Math Lab site for our course. Enjoy. And then dates are important. So the semester starts on the 21st. So I'll make it the 20th, and then it goes until, I don't know. Again, none of this is important. I really should just pause it and not make you sit through it. I'll go till Christmas Eve. All right, so there we go. And then I always pick that one. It doesn't matter. And then we create the course. And this is far as this is now this is new territory for me. So we'll have to see what happens. And now, just like the previous process, we just have to wait a few minutes and see what happens. What I'm curious what is going to happen is when I click that Access Pearson link again. So we'll be in suspense here for a second. Actually, I will pause and then I'll get there. Okay, I'm back. I just did a little bit of playing just to make this not a long video. I said it would be a short video. So when you click the Access Pearson link again, now that the courses are linked, it'll bring you right into here. Now this is not grayed out anymore. So if you want to sync grades in the future, That's what you can click on, and that allows you to pick the assignment you want to sync up. But this doesn't solve the other problem, which is how do you get the links for the student into the course? So if you click these, it brings you right in. I don't know what the students will see when they click Access Pearson, but I do have another way, and it's the way I'd already shared previously for those of you that are with me um, at Harold Washington for this. So the way I did it before is actually the second half of the process. So it's like I was predicting the second half of the process, but messed up the first half of the process. And so for the second half of the process, you can go into existing activities. And if you scroll down for just in existing activities, actually, you don't even need to go to external learning tools. There's a thing called Pearson links. And when you click that, then you can choose what you want to put into your course, whether it's individual assignments or really what's going to be most relevant to students potentially is something like the e-text. You literally could just put like chapters and sections in if you want. Or course tools, which includes the full e-text. So that's up. So you can have some customizability. Let's say you wanted to add like section 1.1 in a module, you could actually do that right there, which is different than before. That's better than before. And if you want to put the home link in, and maybe you want something just specifically for homework, that's up to you. I like the study plan sometimes, and that's you can kind of leave it at that. If you want them to have access to the gradebook, there you could. And so you would add whatever number of links, and these are student-facing links now. And so from there, just make sure you make these. I would edit properties in place and make them so that, oh, never mind. It's already done for us. Look at that. How smart. But just double check. But that's it. That's the whole process. And if you in the future want to link grades, you would go into Access Pearson, from what I gather, and then you'll be right there. And that's what you want. So that was the missing piece that I thanks to a colleague who emailed me about it. But that's it. Let me know if you have questions, but good luck and have fun with it.